Good evening and welcome to Springville High School for another week of high school football here on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst, and tonight we got a good one as Spanish Fork has made the trip here to Springville to take on the Red Devils. Springville coming in this week number 3 in the RPI, and right now the Red Devils look to be really towards the top, Chris, of Region 8, and just it's really been for Springville. It's been those 2 losses to Salem Hills and Provo this year.
Yeah, they've beaten everybody else on their schedule so far. That's why they're number 3 in the RPI, and it'll be a tough battle for Spanish Fork tonight.
A week ago, we saw Spanish Fork score some late touchdowns against Maple Mountain, but really it was that big explosive plays that Maple Mountain had at key moments that really just kind of opened up the ballgame.
Yeah, there was a couple of deep passes that got by him, but credit Spanish Fork for battling back. They were down by 38 points, 35 points, and battled back with a couple of touchdowns to make the score a little closer. So we'll see if they can capitalize on that momentum.
Let's take a look really quick here and take a look at our Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing keys to the game tonight. And Chris, take us through these. Yeah,
for Spanish Fork to win tonight, they cannot allow big passing plays. That's what's gouged them the last couple of weeks. Also, I'm assuming they're going to start Holt. If they're going to do that, they need to get him comfortable. And when he looks comfortable, they're running the RPO option for him. And then they have struggled to convert on third downs, especially in region play. So they've got to get in, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and when they do, they need to pick those up.
It is a crisp, cool evening with some wind gusts and a pretty constant, steady wind, which should affect the passing game. Both these teams really like to throw the football, so it could be whichever team dominates the run tonight could have the better shot of winning.
Absolutely. We can look to the flags to our right, and they are blowing pretty furious.
Spanish Fork won the toss. They will defer to the second half, as Springville will get the football first. Back deep for the Red Devils will be number 1, Cole McAllister, and number 2, Austin Mortensen. We would imagine we'll be calling Austin Mortensen's name quite a bit tonight. We're ready to go. Kate Olson has the ball teed up. And Friday night football under the lights is ready to go on Spanish Fork 17 as McAllister will take it from about the 7-yard line across the 20, across the 25-yard line before he's brought down around the 31-yard line. And this is, Chris, a pretty potent offense for Springville, and they're led by their senior quarterback, Peyton Murphy.
Yeah, they are. He's pretty much looks like a drop-back passer if the statistics are to be believed, and then he's going to look a lot for Austin Mortensen, number 2.
Springville in the all-blue, Spanish Fork in the all-white uniforms here tonight. It was 1 year ago that Spanish Fork came in here and really pulled at the time, Chris, looked like a big upset.
Yeah, it did for sure, and Springville was the higher classified team as well.
So Peyton Murphy ready to go from quarterback. He's got Tyler Kelly in the backfield right here with 3 wide receivers. Murphy back to throw with some time, looking towards Mortensen. That's not Mortensen. That is complete. That is Zach Mitchell on the catch. And Mitchell's going to have enough there for a first down.
Yeah, Zach Mitchell, I believe, is the son of Scott Mitchell as well.
So that will be a first down, but there's a penalty marker. And so first play, there's a penalty. We'll see who this is going to go against. Early indications, though, this might be against the Red Devils.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it is, and that's not a good start, as it seems like once the officials get momentum, we seem to see a lot of flags at the high school level.
So we'll see here. It's going to be, it looks like personal. It's going to be a personal foul against Springville, which will move it back about 15 yards, but it will remain first down.
So they pick up the first down and they lose 3 yards for a new set of downs.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 28-yard line instead here. Springville in the I formation right off the bat. This is usually what we're a little more used to seeing the Red Devils run, and immediately off the bat there's going to be a penalty flag. This one's going to go against Spanish Fork, and I think it's going to get Gabe Oldham there for just jumping off sides.
Yeah, Gabe Oldham in his defensive end position got a little bit of a jump there. So, second penalty, 2 plays so far.
2 plays and 2 penalties. It could be a long night here at Springville.
And we're counting the kickoff as a play.
So we'll see the Red Devils come back to the line of scrimmage. First down and about 5 or so, or about 5 or so coming up right here. Here's the give to Kelly right up the middle and nothing. Tayson Reed, number 28, one of the first dons there in on the stop.
Yeah, great job by Tayson Reed reading that play and then plugging that running hole.
They'll bring up second down and about 6 coming up, so he might have lost a yard there on 1st and 5. No score. This is the opening drive of the game. Springville getting the football first. Tyler Kelly, the back in the backfield, I formation. And they're going to go play action. Murphy going to look down the field, looking over the top. Has a man out there. That is Mortensen who's got the catch inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. A big pickup right there. And there's one of those big plays that we saw Maple Mountain have some success with last week, and Springville hits one on the opening drive.
Yeah, Austin Mortensen runs a deep post pattern that time, and it's wide open, and they drop it right down into him. That time is Peyton Murphy, and it's a pretty easy pass and catch. A big hole in that zone defense.
It'll be a first down and 10 here coming for the Red Devils. I formation set again with Peyton Murphy. You'll see a lot of the I formation for Springville. Here's Tyler Kelly right up the middle. This time not much going on up the middle. Leula Cabreros and a couple other dons in there on the stop.
Yeah, so far Spanish Fork's run defense has been very effective. We've seen them struggle with that area in other games.
So bring up 2nd and 8, a gain of 2 there on first down for Tyler Kelly. Two wide receivers, 2 backs. Kelly again, the deep back. They give it straight up the middle again. Kelly this time down to about the 22-yard line. So a good pickup right there of about 3, and that brings up 3rd down and about 5.
3rd down and 5, and it's in the area of 4-down territory. So Springville still has the option to hand it off to Kelly or another one of their running backs in this situation.
We've seen in the past, Springville will put in, 2, sometimes maybe even 3 backs into that backfield to get carries for the Red Devils. Here they got 2 wide receivers. Mortensen to the bottom of your screen. Keep an eye on him. Murphy under center. Here's the pitch. Kelly trying to turn the corner, trying to get outside. Good contain. I believe that was McKay Perry, number 5, who gets there. And a nice job there, and a good job of playing your lanes if you're Spanish Fork.
Yeah, great job, and also they didn't allow that play to break contain. Everybody was pushing that to the inside.
Springville, it looks like, for all intents and purposes, the Red Devils are going to go for it here on 4th down and about 3, maybe 4, depending on the spot, but it looks to be 3. They're on the 20-yard line right here.
And I'd look for Austin Mortensen on your far end of your screen there.
Murphy goes under center. Back to throw, looking for Mortensen on the out route. Has him at about the 14. A good tackle by number 5. That was McCabe Perry again on the tackle. But a nice job there, and like you said, Chris, just going to a one-on-one matchup with Mortensen.
Yeah, just a 6 or 7 yard out that time for Mortensen. Gets past the sticks, makes the catch. Very tough to defend when you give him that much cushion.
So it's 1st and 10 for Springville. They're inside the Driggs Mortgage Team red zone for the first time tonight. And they're knocking on the door here on their opening drive of the ball game. I formation set. Kelly the deep back. He gets the call right up the middle. Not much going on there on first down as Dallin Pepper getting there on the carry. And that was not Tyler Kelly. That was Harris, I believe, on the carry.
Tegan Harris and Tyler Kelly does just check into the game here, and we'll see. He got a breather there, and Harris runs out.
2nd down and 9. Harris gets a gain of 1 on his carry. They have a blocking back in the ball game right now, Kevin Kolomalu, in there kind of as a fullback for Springville. Here's a give. Kelly up the middle. Penalty flag comes in as Tyler Kelly gets in the end zone. We'll have to wait to see what the penalty is going to be for, though, however, and it looks like it's coming back against Springville.
Yeah, it looks like the left guard made the best tackle I've seen all night as he just goes ahead and tackles the defensive tackle that time.
And that will be a hold, and that will bring it back right here and take the Springville touchdown off the board. Now mark it off right now past the 20 to, looks like about the 23-yard line or so is where they're going to mark it right here. 7:23 to go, first quarter, no score between Springville and Spanish Fork. I formation here coming for the Red Devils, 2 wide receivers. Kelly, the deep back, play action. Murphy going to throw, now being pressured, rolling away, directing traffic, going to take off. Murphy's going to take a hit by Michele Lua right over towards the sideline, but he's going to get a few yards back right there for Springville.
Yeah, but great job by Lula running upfield, forcing him out of bounds before Murphy could really escape. So 3rd and 16 here for Springville. Obvious passing situation, and really their MO is to go to Mortensen in this scenario.
They need to get to the 4-yard line to convert. And this is where you have to keep an eye on. This is where you have a tough time as a defensive coordinator, Chris. If you want to play a lot of one-on-one, or if you want to have a safety always over the top, I would imagine you're going to have a safety over the top on Mortensen. He's to the bottom of your screen, trying to set the screen pass up in and out of the hands of Austin Mortensen. Incomplete, and that brings up 4th down.
Interesting call there, going underneath. Probably Coach Childs and the Red Devils were anticipating a blitz that time, and Spanish Fork really didn't bring the pressure.
So it'll be 4th down, and we'll see here what head coach Willie Child and Springville wants to do. If we're going to see it looks like we're going to see the offense go for it. It's going to be a tough night for the kickers all the way around the board with the way that wind is. But we're going to see 4th and 16. Springville needs the 4-yard line to convert. Murphy back to throw with some time, looking towards the sideline, has Mitchell, and Mitchell's brought down around the 10-yard line, so it will be about as good as a punt here, basically, if you're Springville, but the defensive momentum there, bend but not break, seems to be what Spanish Fork did.
Yeah, and great tackle by Perry that time as he allowed Mitchell not to break a tackle. Mitchell breaks that tackle, he's most likely going to pick up the 1st down.
So we'll take our first look tonight at the Spanish Fork Dons offense, and it's been kind of a quarterback carousel here for Spanish Fork. We'll see who it's going to be. It's been Caden Holt for the majority of the last week or so, and it looks like it's going to be Caden Holt to start here tonight.
First and 10,
Some confusion, it looks like, on Spanish Fork. They're trying to get receivers, and everybody's set. Tayson Reed, the back here for Spanish Fork. Corbin Harrison goes in motion, and it's going to be a direct run here for Caden Holt. Tries to get outside, and Holt's going to get about 6 yards or so. Goes out of bounds around the 16, so a good pickup right there on the ground by quarterback Caden Holt.
Yeah, and Caden Holt actually is probably not only their quarterback, but the best runner they have on this team. So great call to get him warmed up, and sometimes when he gets rolling on the ground, it really opens up that passing game, and he can throw it downfield.
It looks like they're going to be favorable. They're going to give Caden Holt 7 yards there, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 3. Holt ready to go with 4 wide receivers, and here is Holt again. He gets it out quickly. That's going to be a 1st down and some space there, I believe, for that is Tyler Swayze. However, there's a penalty flag. What I don't know there, Chris, is if Caden Holt wasn't past the line of scrimmage when he threw that.
I don't know if he was past the line of scrimmage, but was it a lateral as well? We'll have to see what the call is. Maybe it's a late hit as well.
For the meantime, it's going to be a Spanish Fork 1st down. It looks out to about the 28-yard line. Right there, as you see on the Car Guys instant replay. And the officials here, it looks like, are going to maybe pick up any kind of flag. They're going to give the ready to play, and it's a Spanish Fork 1st down.
I think maybe they were discussing that he did pass the line of scrimmage, but I believe that pass went backwards, making it a lateral instead of a forward pass.
So it'll be 1st and 10 coming right here for Spanish Fork at the 28-yard line for Caden Holt with 4 wide receivers. Corbin Harrison goes in motion, and here we're going to see a quarterback, kind of a draw play, just trying to get outside. Holt breaks one tackle down the sideline, and he's going to have pretty close to another first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short. Austin Mortensen knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, and, you know, with Reed there as the lead blocker and then some swift movement by Holt that time, he's able to pick up the first down, nearly pick up the first down, I should say, on that scramble.
So it'll be 2nd down and 1, gets 9. Holt ready to go again. Holt now will look over to the sideline, see if he wants to make any adjustments on the play call. Tayson Reed, the back, right here. It will be Reed who will lose about 3 yards or so. It looks like they'll give him some. They'll give him the 26-yard line.
It looked like Faye got in there awfully quick to break that tackle, but forward momentum gives him the 36-yard line and not clear back to the 31 where he ended up on the ground.
So it's going to be 3rd and 2. Here's one of our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game, converting these 3rd down and short situations. Tyler Swayze in motion. Holt back to throw with some time, looking over the middle, in and out of the hands of Corbin Harrison. Cole McAllister for Springville on the coverage, and that will bring up 4th down, and Spanish Fork most likely going to have to punt here on their opening drive.
Not a total loss on that drive as Spanish Fork was able to pick up a couple of first downs there, and Holt looks like he's ready to ball out tonight as he was running very hard.
It will be number 10, Alejandro Quezada, to the top of your screen. Mortensen to the bottom of your screen. Back to receive the punt. Quezada goes over, gives it a look. Now he'll kind of get away from it. I think it might have hit Quezada. And Spanish Fork tried to quickly dash to get there, but it's going to go out of bounds. And it will be Springville football here with 5:29 to play in the first quarter.
We'll have to see what Springville has in store for Spanish Fork on this second drive. Here, they were able to move the ball well, especially with the deep ball that time, but a huge penalty, a huge hold negated a touchdown.
So it'll be 1st down and 10. The Red Devils will start back at the 25-yard line. Right there they're at the Red Devil 25. I formation set. Here's the give. Tyler Kelly straight up the middle, breaks one tackle. And Kelly brought down around the 29-yard line or so. So a pickup of about 4 there on 1st down, makes it 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, great job by Spanish Fork once again stopping the run, as they've been able to do that on multiple possessions, and we see Dallin Pepper making that tackle.
So bring up 2nd down and 6, ball on the 29-yard line right here for Springville. Red Devils trying to see if they can convert here on this second medium. I formation set. Here's again a straight run right up the middle. Tyler Kelly gets to about the 32-yard line. So another pickup of about 3. Will make it about 3rd down and about 3 coming up here for Springville. So these are some of these 3rd and manageable, Chris, that makes it as an offensive coordinator much easier to make a play call.
Yeah, it does. It's still quite a distance, but I'd anticipate Springville lines up in the I formation and possibly, I'm guessing they're going to go play action here.
So we'll see what happens right here on 3rd and 3. 4:18 to play here in the first quarter. I formation set, 2 wide receivers. And some movement up front as Spanish Fork immediately pointing at Springville. And I think they may have gotten Joshua Cox, the senior offensive lineman.
Yeah, that time Cox, the right guard, moved a little early that time, and that'll definitely change the play call as they change personnel here.
So instead of it being 3rd down and 3, now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 here for the Red Devils. So now it goes from being a kind of a running situation, Chris, to really now you have to throw it, usually here in this 3rd and 8.
Yeah, they're going to go 3 wide receiver, single running back this time.
Keep an eye on Austin Mortensen, guarded by Luke Evans at the bottom of your screen. Here's a direct snap right here, Peyton Murphy, and he's going to get a yard, maybe 2 out to the 28. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and Springville's going to have to punt. And right now, the Spanish Fork defense, Chris, holding their own.
Yeah, they are. Great job by Spanish Fork forcing a 3 and out that time. Springville ran it all 3 times and didn't have much success.
McKay Perry back deep. He'll be back at his own 39-yard line. It's going to be Zachary Mitchell, number 16, back to punt. He puts a foot into it, kicks it away from Perry, and it's going to take a little bit of a Springville bounce and roll inside the 40, and it'll be down to around the 37-yard line. And with that, for the first time tonight, we'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17 for making this broadcast tonight possible.
Yeah, we got Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, the car guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group, MVP Sports, 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Driggs Mortgage Team, and Mikhail Thompson Hunter Attorneys at Law. I'd like to thank these sponsors for making this broadcast possible tonight. Next week we'll be at Provo with Maple Mountain.
Should be a fun one there. That Maple Mountain could surprise some people in that one against Provo, I think. Here's Caden Holt on just a quarterback keeper right there. Gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage on 1st down.
Yeah, very impressed with Maple Mountain last week as they dominated Spanish Fork, mostly through the air as well. Looks like that team's really clicking on the throw game, and we'll have to see how Provo's defense can handle that aerial attack.
We saw Spanish Fork have a little success taking some shots down the field in that meeting with Provo a few weeks ago. Here's Caden Holt. He'll be back to throw, and he's immediately dropped in the backfield. Getting there was number 28. That is Tegan Harris from his linebacker spot for the 2 Jacks Pizza quarterback sack.
And nothing Holt could do that time as Harris was blitzing in really unabated that time to make that sack.
And so now it's going to bring up it's going to bring up much more in 2nd and 11. It's going to be 2nd down and probably about 18, maybe 19, it looks like, here for Spanish Fork. And it's a 3rd down, so the Dons, to try to move the chains, are going to have to take a shot down the field here with under 2 to go in the 1st quarter. Holt in shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Back to throw. Holt stepping up now, being pressured from behind, and he goes down right there. Getting there on the stop, I believe, was number...
Was it 55 Faeli?
I think it was Vasio Foley there, number 55 on the stop from behind to the line of scrimmage. 4th down, and Spanish Fork will have to punt it back to Springville. The Red Devils had, I think, an extra man on the field. So now they'll get set and ready to go. Kate Olson gets it off. A pretty good kick from Olson. Kicks it away from the return man, and watching it bounce out of bounds is Alejandro Quezada. And Spanish Fork has really won the field position. At times in the last few weeks, Chris, we've seen Spanish Fork really have a tough time with winning that field position battle, but they're making Springville start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, and we'll see if Springville changes their attack here. I think they came into this game thinking they would just be able to run the ball at will at Spanish Fork like other teams have, and credit Spanish Fork's defense as they've prepared for this I formation, and they're plugging up all those running holes.
I formation, Tyler Kelly, the deep back, right here. Murphy under center, gives it to Kelly right up the middle. And Kelly there breaks a couple of tackles, and Tyler Kelly's going to have about 8 yards or so before he's brought down. And a nice, just strong run there from Tyler Kelly.
Yeah, big 8-yard run, and I guess Springville's going to just really try and wear down this Spanish Fork defense here. They realize it's 4 quarters of football, and so they're very patient so far in sticking with this run.
And that's where if you can sustain a drive, if you're Spanish Fork, Chris, you really can kind of help that defense out. The Dons don't have a ton of guys to go both ways. 2nd down and 2 coming for the Red Devils. Here's the give, trying to get outside. This time getting about a yard is Tyler Kelly, but not much there on 1st down and short, or on 2nd and short, I mean.
So it's 3rd and 1, and Springville looks like they have had more success running to the near side of the field. Actually, they're going to let the quarter run out.
And that will end the first quarter from Springville. We've played one, no score between Spanish Fork and Springville here on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Second quarter about ready to get underway here at Springville High School. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst as we get ready. After tonight, 2 regular season games left. And I'm sitting here kind of wondering, Chris, where and how quick did the high school football season go?
Yeah, me too. I mean, we're already into October.
Peyton Murphy on the quarterback keeper straight ahead. It's going to depend on the spot. The initial spot looks like Peyton Murphy got enough for the first down. And it will be enough. First down, Springville.
Yeah, they went quick that time under center with Murphy, and he, just goes up, taps the center, they snap it, and able to pick that up.
So it'll be a first down here for the Red Devils. And we'll see what adjustments Springville makes as they go here throughout the course of this one. Some of it might, too, depend on what changes with that wind. Here's Tyler Kelly straight up the middle to about the 40-yard line. A good pickup on first down of about 6, maybe 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and a couple of times on some of these running plays, the Spanish Fork defenders getting into the backfield. And when you're getting in that quickly, it might be for a reason. I think some of these guys need to hold back and try and make a tackle.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3, maybe 4 coming up. He may not have gotten as good a spot as I thought he had gotten right there. It looks like he only got about 6. Here's the give straight up the middle. Tyler Kelly this time has the first down across the 40 to the 45. And I don't know if the ball came out loose late or what's going on right there, but Seth Wilkins on the stop for Spanish Fork. That's a first down for the Red Devils.
Yeah, a couple of runs there by Kelly. They pick up another first down, and you got to wonder at what point are they going to fake the handoff and look for Mortensen deep.
So 10:45 to go before halftime here at Springville. Red Devils have the opportunity right here with the football on their own 45-yard line. I formation play right here. Murphy gives it off. Here is Tyler Kelly. He's brought down right at midfield. Brad Stevens on the tackle.
Yeah, great job by Stevens, the corner, coming up and making that tackle.
But it's still a nice 5-yard pickup there for the Red Devils. Brings up 2nd and 5 right from midfield. The last little bit of daylight setting right now over Utah Lake. Here behind us here at Springville High School. Ready to go. Here's the give outside. And this time, I believe that was Tegan Harris on the carry.
Yeah, it looked like number 34, Dallin Pepper, with a big tackle that time as he's able to hang on to Kelly.
And that was Tyler Kelly, number 23.
The problem is the running backs are 23 and 28. From up here, they look like the same number at times.
Seems like there's a couple of numbers every week that we kind of, at least I do anyway, get kind of mixed up. 3rd down and 5 coming up here for the Red Devils. I formation. Here's the pitch outside. Kelly trying to turn the corners. Got some blockers. And Tyler Kelly's going to be pretty close to the first down. I think he's going to end up being
short,
about a yard short right there of the yard to gain, which is going to make a pretty big decision here for Springville early on, whether or not they're going to take a chance and go for it. I would imagine on 4th and 1, with how well your defense has played, you might just take the chance here.
Yeah, I think if you're Spanish Fork, you got to pinch that defensive line in and try and avoid that quarterback sneak again.
Murphy ready to go under center. Murphy straight ahead, and I think he got it with a second effort. He was brought down, and then he got a little bit of a second effort, and when he did that, I think he got just enough of it with a second effort for the first down.
Too close to call right now.
Well, I mean, we're standing right at the 45-yard line. I thought maybe he...
It looked like he kind of got stopped at the top of the pile and then was able to kind of move forward. But
yeah,
the question comes down to, Chris, when does his movement forward or that progress stop?
That's tough to tell with all those bodies down there, but I thought he got a little bit further. But
it's going to be close right here as they bring out the chains. And now they're going to stretch it out, and it looks like he got it by about just the nose of the football. Did not get it by much, but Peyton Murphy gets the first down, and Springville will have 1st and 10 from the Spanish Fork 45.
Yeah, and Spanish Fork at halftime has got to tell their defensive line, you've seen that twice now. If they're close, just pack it in tight. Allow our linebackers to make a play if the run's going outside.
It'll be 1st and 10 Springville from the Spanish Fork 45. Once again, I formation set. Second quarter really going quickly right here. Here's Kelly right up the middle again, and Kelly's brought down around the 41. Another pickup of about 4. Right now, already down to about 8.5 minutes to play before halftime.
Yeah, and the one good thing, though, is Spanish Fork's linebackers and corners are not missing tackles. Sometimes, you'll get a 4-yard run that turns into a 15-yard run because the running back is able to break a tackle. That has not been the case tonight.
I formation, Peyton Murphy under center. Here's the give, Tyler Kelly again. Penalty flag comes in. Kelly there only gets about a yard, maybe 2, but we'll see here this penalty in the kind of the area, Chris, where you would typically see a hold.
I want to say I saw Joshua Cox holding that time for Springville, and that'll move it back 10 yards. And with this rushing attack for Springville, it really takes them off schedule on what they want to do, but they seem content not to throw the ball.
So right here, and that's one thing I kind of wondered today as I kind of kept monitoring the weather. We didn't have to worry about any real rain, at least let's hope not. But with that wind coming in, Chris, it's just it can affect the passing game, especially if you want to take a shot deep.
Yeah, and it's going west to east, so it's going to affect the ball that way.
Murphy back to throw, taking a shot over the top, has Mortensen out there and makes the catch inside the 15. He's going to be brought down inside the 10 to about the 5, and it's 1st and goal, Springville.
A great pass that time by Murphy, as Mortensen was actually bracketed that time back there, but just outruns the corner and the safety that time to make that catch, and the throw's right where it needs to be.
They'll mark him down at the 3-yard line. Springville 1st and goal back in the Driggs Mortgage Team red zone and knocking on the door to see if they can get on the scoreboard first here. And this is where you'd kind of think just classic kind of power football and just try to see if you can power it on in. I formation set right here. Murphy under center. Gives it up the middle. Tyler Kelly looking for the end zone. He's going to be short. It looks like he's going to be marked down around the 2-yard line. Well, it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 1. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
2nd and 1 here. Great stop by Spanish Fork's defense. And if you're Springville, you cannot hold in this situation. We've seen them do that on their prior drive. It really pushed them out of being able to run the ball and negated a touchdown.
Well, and this is where you have to, Chris, this is where you talk about disciplined football. Some of the earlier penalties, but right here, a penalty right here against Springville could kind of hurt the drive. Here's the give. Kelly up the middle and in. Touchdown, Red Devils.
Yeah, great job by Kelly. I think the play was designed to go between the guard and the center. He sees that's blocked and scoots to the outside where there is a hole and gets 6 points.
So a big run there for Tyler Kelly. He gets in the end zone. And now we'll have the, I believe that's Tyler Kelly on for the point after touchdown try. Cole McAllister, the holder.
It's offsides there on that far end.
So this will move it closer right here. This is a penalty against Spanish Fork.
Looked like Clement jumped offside that time.
So right here, we'll see. Right here, what they end up. Here, the officials are talking. I'm not sure if they're trying to say somebody maybe drew them offsides. Right here, but the conversation is taking taking a dead ball illegal procedure against Springville. That's going to move the Red Devils back.
Makes the kick a little bit more difficult, but is still manageable from about 25 yards out.
The snap good, hold down, the kick is up and through the uprights there is good for Caleb Snare. And it's 7-0 Red Devils here on Spanish Fork 17. And Springville uses a long drive there, Chris. And it's kind of the old-style Springville football that we would see. Lots of power run.
Lots of power run, and they're about one of the only teams in the state that I've seen that lines up in I formation and just, you know what, we're going to wear you down. We might not pick up the first down, and we might go 3 and out a couple times, but eventually we're going to wear you down to where in the fourth quarter it's been a long game and we're going to get gashing you for big runs. I think that's been their strategy tonight, but they've complemented that with a couple of big passes. That's really where they've had a lot of offense.
This is our last Friday night broadcast, at least scheduled so far. Next Thursday night, we're out at Provo High School. Our second trip out there to Provo, Maple Mountain and the Provo Bulldogs. That should be a good one. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, Chris, I would maybe watch Maple Mountain in that ball game. They might play a little bit more with Provo than some people think, and Golden Eagles might pull an upset.
Yeah, they definitely could. And for Maple Mountain, they dropped one spot in the RPI by beating Spanish Fork. So and Spanish Fork moved up a game. So this RPI, that would be a huge win for Maple Mountain.
The kickoff ready to go. This one's going to be short over towards the sideline. McKay Perry is going to try to run up and field it. He bobbled it and then had to pick it up at the last second. Perry will get out to about the 19-yard line or so. I guess the good thing if you're Maple Mountain, Chris, your last two opponents, Provo and Salem Hills. So that should give you a little bit of some help, I would think, in the RPI.
Especially if you're able to win those games. Losses probably will not be too detrimental.
So right now, we'll take a look here. First down and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. Here for Spanish Fork. 7-0 Red Devils on top. Springville scoring on their latest drive. Spanish Fork will try to answer here with 6:21 to go before halftime. 4 wide receivers, and Caden Holt takes the direct snap, now tries to do the quarterback draw, and there's not much. He's going to lose a yard, in fact, and that will make it second and about 11. Foley there, one of the first Red Devils on the stop.
Yeah, great job by Foley. Really playing good defense there that time, and I think he could have called a hold as they actually held him, and he still got there. And so for Holt, had a really good first drive running the ball and not so much after that.
It is a crisp, cool evening. Lots of hats, jackets, and blankets at the here at the stadium tonight. Almost at ballpark, which I guess would work in some degree, but that's kind of more of a baseball term.
Like 4 ballparks behind us.
Ready to go. Holt fires one in. That one almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Cade Olson. And that will bring up 3rd and long. Olson slow to get up.
Olson's holding, I don't know if it's his wrist. I know he took a tough hit to his shoulder earlier this season. Might be re-aggravated just a little bit there.
It'll be 3rd down and 11 coming up here for Spanish Fork. The weather tonight with that wind swirling, not a favorable evening for a lot of passes that are going to hang up in the air very much. You have to throw a little more flat and sharp here tonight, especially right now as we get another wind gust here at Springville High School. Back to throw. Olsen throws that one. That's complete to Corbin Harrison, enough for a 1st down. A good back shoulder throw, and that's out to the 30 and good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, Harrison posts up almost like a basketball player that time on McAllister and is able to make the catch.
So a nice 1st down there for the Dons right there. That's their 2nd or 3rd 1st down. Spanish Fork's been able to get a couple of times where they've been able to get a fresh set of downs.
Scoreboard says it's 52 degrees here. With the wind chill, it's got to be probably in the 40s, I would think.
Supposed to get down right around freezing here tonight in Utah County for the first time this year. 4 wide receivers ready to go. Harrison goes in motion. Springville wanting a jump. Spanish Fork will take a shot down the field. They have a man out there, incomplete. Looking for Corbin Harrison. That will bring up 2nd down. One of the Springville linebackers, Carter Johnston, turns to the ref right behind him and started pointing. And that's right when Caden Holt snapped the ball.
Yeah. And the officials saw nothing, called nothing. Great job by Harrison getting a step there. And just if that ball's thrown just a hair backward, I think they're able to complete that ball.
2nd down and 10, 4:45 to go before the half. We'll have the halftime show here for you from Springville. Check our Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing keys to the game and try to catch a couple scores from around the state and really Region 8 tonight. Here is Caden Holt, tries to keep it, and now he'll spin, breaks 1 tackle, and get pushed out of bounds and brought down around the 38-yard line. So make it 3rd down and about 2. Right here, a nice effort play by Caden Holt.
Yeah, Caden Holt's very elusive as he's able to break the arm tackle from the defensive end that time and spins out of a couple others, as we see here on the instant replay, and makes it a more manageable 3rd and 3. And we've talked about the key of picking up a 3rd and short, and so far Spanish Fork has been very unsuccessful tonight in doing so.
So right here, 3rd down at about 2 coming up. We'll see what the Dons try to do. We have not seen a lot of straight run tonight with Tayson Reed. Holt ready to go, joined with Reed in the backfield. Now it's going to be Reed this time, breaks 1 tackle, has got a 1st down, hurdles 1 man, and a penalty flag comes in as that will be 15 against Spanish Fork. You can't hurdle a defender necessarily unless they're diving in for the tackle, and I think this one's going to go against the Dons.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a 15-yard penalty. I can't remember the guy's name in the NFL that hurdled somebody and ended up knocking himself out with a concussion.
There's a personal foul against Spanish Fork. I think the Dons also got, Tayson Reed, when he was trying to do the stiff arm, I think he got the face mask. Nonetheless, it's going to back up Spanish Fork 15 yards. It's going to move him back to the 34. Make it 3rd down and about 4 right here.
Yeah, you can't hurdle. He had it there that time, and just a mental mistake by Reed. He just has to either run out of bounds or try and break the tackle by running through the defender.
Other levels of football, you get to the college level and you get to the NFL, you're going to be able to do that all you want within reason. Here's 3rd and about 6. Holt taking a shot, looking for Corbin Harrison, but overthrew him. And that will go incomplete and bring up 4th down. And Spanish Fork, it looks like, it's going to have to punt here after a drive that looked like they might have an opportunity to maybe get something going offensively. They're going to have to settle the punt.
Yeah, and with 3:39 here, Springville will have plenty of time before the half. And this has been a fast-moving game so far, as both teams have been running it a lot.
Back deep right now, Quezada and number 8, and I think that is McKay Hillstead. And it's Hillstead who muffs the punt. It's loose, but I think Springville got right back on it right there. And it is Hillstead who came away with it.
Was that number 6?
That was number 6. That's Mike, or Seth Rigtrip. who came up with it right there on the return.
Well, that could have been a huge play for Spanish Fork if they were able to come up with it, but they were not. I think for Spanish Fork, they've got to figure out a way to bracket Austin Mortensen, and that safety has to give them. I mean, they've been beat deep a couple of times, so they've got to respect his speed and maybe move back a couple of steps when they're in coverage.
Springville with all 3 timeouts right here. That's another thing to keep in mind here as they start this drive. Here is Tyler Kelly, makes a couple of men miss and dives ahead. He's going to have about 8 there on first down right there.
Yeah, great pickup by Kelly that time as Springville's running game is getting bigger and bigger gains as this game goes on.
We kind of saw Wasatch take that kind of similar approach as well, and they kind of opened things up in the second half. They're going to give 9 on first down to Kelly. Murphy going under center. Springville taking their time, not too worried about it. There's the give to Kalamalu, and he's brought down and right around the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short. Gabe Oldham on the stop.
A great job by Gabe Oldham making the stop here, and if you're Spanish Fork, you have all 3 of your timeouts as well, so if you're able to get a stop here, you might want to use one.
So it'll be 3rd down and 1, ball on the 37-yard line, 2:26 to play before the half. This is one of those situations, Chris, you mentioned about that quarterback sneak up the middle. Peyton Murphy goes under center. Straight ahead with the quarterback sneak, but I think the ball came loose. And Spanish Fork says they got it. We'll wait to see the official call. The officials look like they're going to talk about it, and now it's Spanish Fork football. The Dons recover the fumble.
Yeah, Seth Wilkins comes up with the fumble that time. Big momentum play for Spanish Fork here, and they'll get Holt and the offense out to see if they can tie this thing up before the half.
So right here, a big opportunity now. Spanish Fork's defense really hasn't forced a ton of turnovers this year. And so now an opportunity to try to capitalize and maybe get 6 and tie this one up before the half. Ready to go right here with 4 wide receivers. Here is Spanish Fork, ready to go. The give, Tayson Reed, ball comes loose. It's picked up by Springville, and the Dons will recover it. Tegan Harris comes away with it for Springville. And again, just trading some turnovers right there. And instead of Spanish Fork having an opportunity to score before the half, ball goes back to the Red Devils, and Springville a chance, Chris, now to capitalize and potentially take a 2-score lead into the halftime locker room.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a couple of times where Spanish Fork gets a turnover and then turns it right back over.
So right now, ball's going to be on the 40-yard line with 2:03 to go here in the quarter. I formation, Murphy is going to be stalled at the line of scrimmage, throws and completes the pass across the 45 to Cole McAllister for a first down to the Spanish Fork 43.
I do not know how Peyton Murphy got out of that. He got hit a couple of times, able to will his way through, and then just throws a fastball to McAllister.
So Springville able to move the ball right there. Minute 46, clock running. It's 1st and 10 Red Devils at the 43. They have the 3 timeouts, Chris, which allows them a little more freedom to work the clock. I formation set here for the Red Devils. Back to throw. Murphy again, pressured immediately, takes a shot down the sideline. Has, I believe, Zachary Mitchell out there. That one incomplete.
Number 16, Zach Mitchell.
Yes, Zach Mitchell had a step, but under duress again was Murphy. I think if he had just another second, he would have been able to get that play off.
And now it's going to be it's going to be 2nd and 10. Minute 24. The good thing for Springville, that does stop the clock right here before the half. Senior night here at Springville, so the parents are down on the track. They'll have the senior festivities at the half here. So we may have a little bit longer halftime than normal with some of that. I don't know what the plans are here. Springville late getting a player off the field. And Spanish Fork, I think, might have. Then they're all.
The slot receiver that time was running forward.
And so I'll go against the Red Devils right there. So that will back up Springville.
Yeah, they lined up Tyler Kelly in the slot that time, and he just got moving forward, and they'll take him out and put in Penrod.
Now, as a slot receiver, Chris, you're oftentimes you're watching. You're not necessarily listening to the cadence of hearing the snap as much as you're watching the snap and waiting for the ball to move.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wonder where Kelly normally lines up in the backfield if he was listening to the snap.
Murphy under duress, breaks a couple of tackles. Brendan Cabreros tried to get there and at least forced the hurry as Murphy throws that one into the ground, and it will bring up third down and about 15.
Yeah, but they cannot bring down Peyton Murphy. They list him at 6'1", 180, and he's just battling in there.
So it'll be third down and 15. Ball on the Spanish Fork 48. Red Devils driving here before the half with exactly 1 minute on the clock. Spanish Fork, one play potentially away from getting the ball back here. Would be deep in their own territory after the punt, I would imagine. This is where you have to keep an eye on Austin Mortensen. He's lined up, I believe, to the very top of your screen.
Watch for a screen here as well.
Back to throw. Murphy looking over the middle, diving and trying to come up with it is McAllister, and he's going to come down with it at the 31, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield, and it's a hold against Springville, which will back this one up.
Yeah, and that time Murphy got hit very hard by Wilkins of Spanish Fork. And he was slow to get up there, and he's actually hobbling now.
I don't know. Just checking out the replay, I'm trying to think if Cole McAllister kept possession of that one all the way. It kind of looked like the ball might have moved, but from the replay. But it's really not even a valid point. This is going to move Springville back to their own 34-yard line right here with 50 seconds to play. I don't know if you're Springville, Chris, if you just don't run one more play and then make Preston Parrish, Spanish Fork, decide if he wants to use a timeout or not.
I mean, if I'm Preston Parrish, you might want to have already used a timeout and forced him to, and he does.
Because I'm thinking, and here's kind of my thought, and I could be wrong, Chris, but on a night like tonight where it's really probably that first real cold night of the year, it may not hurt if you're, even in a fourth down situation, it may not hurt to take a chance, rush the punter, and see if you can make something happen.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you never know if you're going to get a big return. Why not take a couple shots downfield in this ball game?
7-0 Springville here as we approach halftime at Springville High School, as we've reached the first part of October, and it is feeling, Chris, more like the end of October.
For sure. It's a very crisp night with the wind in our back here, and a little bit chilly.
But it's high school football, so it's always great to be here on a Friday night. And of course, you only get so many Friday nights under the lights, and we've reached that point of the year where pretty much kickoff is under the lights.
Yeah, for sure. And then usually once we hit playoff time, they try and start those games at 4 a lot of times.
Third down and about 33 coming up. Springville looking for this Spanish Fork about 33-yard line to convert right here. And the Dons just look like they're going to play prevent defense and just drop the whole secondary. I formation, Murphy gives it to Tyler Kelly. Kelly's going to get Kelly's going to get a lot of yards back. He's not going to have enough for the first down. And Preston Parrish calls a timeout there with 31 seconds to play here before the half.
And that'll force Springville to punt and Spanish Fork to, obviously put some pressure here on the punter and see if he can't make a decent return, and then might have a shot or two downfield.
Be fourth down and 22 from the 45, so they'll get the punt off somewhere around the 32 or 33-yard line. And I would imagine here, if you're Spanish Fork, Chris, you're going to play for a block.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to put some pressure on. And next week we'll be at Provo High School, where Maple Mountain plays on Thursday, October 10th, not Friday.
It's a little different this week. It kind of throws off my week of preparation with everything has to kind of be moved up a day, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles, they'll probably not hit very much this next week as it's further in the season, and then you do have a Thursday game.
Zach Mitchell into punt back at his own 30-yard line. Good snap, Spanish Fork coming. They got some pressure. McKay Perry back deep, and I think he bobbled the punt. The question's going to be who got back on it. It looks like Spanish Fork did initially, and it will be Don's football with 21 seconds to play. And that's probably the one thing there, Chris, if you're a return man, you want to make sure that you are able to do. You either need to call fair catch or just get away from it.
Yeah, and that ball looked like a knuckleball as it was coming down. So, yeah, probably the best thing is just to fair catch that so you don't run very much time off the clock and then catch it cleanly.
So we'll see here what they elect to do here. Or what Spanish Fork, I mean, elects to do. Whether they'll try to take a shot or what they'll decide here with 21 seconds to play here in the half. Caden Holt's going to try to run here on first down. Holt breaks a couple of tackles out across the 21 to the 22. And I think Spanish Fork's going to be content just to let that clock run and get this one to the halftime locker room trailing 7-0. We've reached the end of the first half here from Springville High School. It's Springville 7, Spanish Fork 0, high school football on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Really, they keep our players safe.
Well, here at halftime, it's a 7-0 lead for the Springville Red Devils. It's senior night here at Springville. We talk about how quickly high school football goes, Chris, and senior night's one of those things. Every school kind of does it a little bit different in kind of how they do it. Here at Springville, they're going to do everything during the halftime.
Yeah, they're going to do it here during halftime, and for Springville, really, this game so far, they've dominated the line of scrimmage with their running attack, and I think they're looking to wear Spanish Fork out, but so far Spanish Fork's hanging in there, just trailing by 7.
It'll be interesting to kind of see here what happens the rest of the way. When you take a look at the Springville Red Devils, this is a program that Willie Child really has done a great job with over the course of the last, decade or so. Springville's been in the conversation at the top of Region 8 and really at the top of their whatever classification they're in.
Yeah, they have for sure. And if you're Springville, I mean, Willie Childs was the baseball coach, well, shortly after I left high school, but he was at Springville before that time as well. So really a lot of consistency in the program. Some of the assistant coaches that are coaching for Springville have been here for years.
Peyton Murphy. Peyton's parents, Jennifer and Warner Murphy.
We got our hostess of our cooking show, June Williamson, out there. The Happy Tie girl, her son's number 36 there.
Number 15.
Tyson Williamson, a 5'6" senior running back. So they'll be coming up right here. They're doing it numerically, starting from the 20-yard line, the far left of your screen, going to the other 20 on the far right. It's one of those things, Chris, you talk about. There's a couple of games you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose homecoming, and you don't really want to lose senior night either.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you never want to lose. So if you're worried about those two things, then I guess you must be the athletic director scheduling the games. But nonetheless, yeah, you don't want to lose on your last home game of the season. And Springville's actually taking a bye next week. It's their week off in region. Everybody else has decided to play games, while Springville's decided to recoup a little bit next week.
Let's see, that is McCullough Webb.
And after that, Springville will play Wasatch, and that'll be a critical game for both Springville and Wasatch, as they're both in that top 6 of the RPI, and will have a bye game. And you know, obviously for Springville, they could have home field advantage all the way to the semifinals if they're able to continue to stay in the top 4.
And there's some key games going on really in that region. You're starting to get to that point, Chris, where you're getting some of those big games where you have an opportunity to try to see what you can do in a situation to try to qualify for the state playoffs. A little bit different, where it's no longer worrying about the top 4 as much as it's worrying about making sure that your total kind of maybe overall work throughout the season leads you in, you know, really you want to be probably somewhere, I would imagine, in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely in the top 10. And this week's big matchup in Region 8 is Salem Hills, who's 7-0, versus Provo, who's 5-2. Let's see if we can get a score for you there. Provo's number 4 in the RPI. Salem Hills is number 1. And Salem Hills looks like the real deal this season.
Which would be interesting. They've been at the top of the 5A rankings here for the last few weeks, and that's a good opportunity for Region 8 really to represent, because that's one thing you want, Chris. You want your region to be well represented right there, because you want to play in a strong region, and you want that reputation, especially come state, to say, hey, we play in a tough region, we're a good program.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Region 8, you have 4 teams in the top 6 of this, and that, you know, credit Orem and Timpview and some of these teams for playing tough schedules and losing some of those games is probably part of the reason. And Region 8 strategy seemed to be to play winnable games and then beat each other up, but stay in that top 6. And it's definitely worked, as even Payson had a winning record out of region.
The Region 8 scoreboard right here, as we see the RPI. We'll just leave that up here while we go through these Region 8 scores. This will kind of give you an idea. Salem Hills and Provo tonight. Second quarter, it's 10-3 Salem Hills. So the Skyhawks on top there of Provo in a big one. Wasatch, well, they're number 6 this week. They're at playing number 19 Payson, and it's all Wasps in that one, 21-0. I believe it's Spanish Fork Payson next week on Thursday, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, our game here at the half, 7-0 Springville.
Yeah, it is Spanish Fork will be home against Payson next week on Thursday.
And so that will be something interesting to keep an eye on. But, Chris, when you take a look at the RPI rankings here, the question that you have a lot of times with the RPI that you used to have in the old college football kind of BCS system is, does this actually reflect how good these teams are?
Well, do you want me to answer honestly, or say yes?
Just in general, because
I don't know. It's tough to say, because I look down there, I see number 12 Timpview, who beat number 4 Provo head-to-head. So the algorithms are doing something, but I just don't know if you have enough body of work there to do it in a high school football season where you're playing 8 or 9 games before you head into the playoffs, where maybe if you're, in basketball, when you play 25 games or 20 games heading into the playoffs, it'll all work itself out. But teams that played a tougher schedule, played some teams out of state, are definitely paying the price in this system, and I don't want that to have a negative effect on teams taking a chance out of state. So I wonder if at some point there also has to be a 50% component of this, and maybe the coaches voting, or maybe media voting. I don't know how you do that, but you do need somebody to say, look, Timpview beat Provo. Why are they 8 spots behind them?
I think it will be interesting to kind of see, too, because if you just take a look at the correlation right here, from going from 1 to 21, with a big correlation you see right now, the more games you've won, Chris, the higher that you are in that system. That doesn't always reflect strength of schedule necessarily, does your record.
Well, and they tried to negate that with opponents' win percentage and opponents' win percentage, but obviously that's not the case, and we'll break here and listen to the mighty Red Devils marching band.
Let's hear it for the Springville High School Red Devil Marching Band. And tonight, as part of senior night, we'd like to recognize the seniors on the band. Have them take one step forward, raise their hand, recognize and give attention to our seniors. Thank you for your time on the band. We really appreciate all your work.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage Team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Hi, welcome to 2 Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Back here at halftime here at Springville. It's a 7-0 lead right now for the Springville Red Devils on top of the Spanish Fork Dons. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst. As right here, when you take a look at that first half, Chris, it's really interesting to kind of see how we kind of thought maybe Springville might maybe score some early points like the last couple of weeks, but this Spanish Fork Dons defense has really done a nice job holding Springville in check.
Yeah, absolutely. In my notebook I have here, there were no turnovers, no really big plays there in the first quarter outside of one throw. And my notebook's pretty empty of notes to talk about here, as it is a 7-0 ball game. Our only score being a Tyler Kelly 1-yard run for Springville. And then we had back-to-back turnovers there in the second quarter, really negating each other. Not a whole lot of action other than both teams running the ball and the punters. The punters were the star of the show at times.
And it's one of those things, this is kind of maybe the kind of game you would expect on a night like tonight when it's cold, windy. The only thing it isn't is wet.
It's definitely not wet, but when Springville's needed to, they've been able to throw downfield, so I wonder if we're going to see them open it up a little more here in the second half, or if they're going to just still try and pound and the ball down Spanish Fork's throat.
It'll be interesting to see. Let's recap our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game. When we take a look at that first half, really interesting to see. We talked about you not allow the big passing play, and Chris, that was kind of one you talked about, where outside of the deep post route, I believe Austin Mortensen is the one you're thinking about here just a minute ago.
They had two to Morton, but yeah, outside of that, they haven't given up the big dagger that's been a touchdown throw. So far they've been holding strong on that for the most part. They've had a couple plays broken, but they really haven't been for 6 points like we saw last week.
When you take a look at it, we've seen a lot of the RPO type stuff or a read option kind of play here from Spanish Fork here in this one. And that was really something we talked about, was getting in a rhythm early on with that.
Yeah, it was. And right out of the gates, they threw that run-pass option. Actually, they picked up a first down, and it looked like Holt was going to get in a rhythm. But unfortunately, anytime Spanish Fork's offense got going, they would either not pick it up on third down, which is I know is our next key, or they would negate a big play with a turnover, or with a penalty, I should say. So we saw that big hurdling play by Tayson Reed that really negated a big gain when it looked like Spanish Fork had some momentum.
So it'll be interesting to see as Spanish Fork will get the ball to start this second half. What kind of plays would you draw up if you're running the offense, let's say, for Spanish Fork?
If I'm Spanish Fork, what I think they're going to do tonight is, well, I would just go back to letting Holt try and run it again. They had some success early, but the key is you cannot have any big penalties, and you've got to stay on schedule. On first down, you got to pick up 4 or 5. On second, you've got to get it to 3rd and 2, and you've got to pick up those third downs. And I think if they do that, they have a chance at winning this ball game, as long as they're not giving up the big play. I'm very impressed so far with Spanish Fork's defense, but the offense hasn't really helped them out too much.
It'll be interesting to kind of see what happens here in the second half as we have our wonderful camera people upstairs tonight. They're having fun. The crowd giving them the applause. There's Travis saying, oh, no, it's nothing, guys. It's nothing. As we were talking before the game, we're actually outside. We're just at the very top of the bleachers, and we were talking to our staff upstairs before the game, Chris, and I go, every week I'm always grateful that I'm indoors and you're outside and you're braving the elements. And I said, tonight I get to cross the checklist off my list of being able to do a game outside.
Absolutely, we're doing the game outside. If they did have a camera on us, they would notice we're not wearing shirts up here either. We're braving the weather with a little less clothing than Travis. No, I'm kidding, of course.
Anyway, we want to remind you, coming up Thursday, we'll have another game coming to you from Provo. It will be Maple Mountain against Provo coming up. 7 p.m. kickoff from the new Provo High out there. I guess not really necessarily the new Provo High, but
still the new Provo High until they build a newer one.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll go with that. I'm in a safe zone right there. The teams have just gotten back on the field. They'll put 3 minutes on the clock, and we'll get this one kicked off here for the second half. Great to be with everybody here the last Friday night of our high school football coverage. We got a game on Thursday, then the following Wednesday, and then we'll have to kind of wait and see from there how everything plays out. But, Chris, when you take a look at it right here, any keys that you would say in that second half that are going to be just vital for teams to come away with?
I think Spanish Fork has to find a big play. They've got to maybe get Kate Olsen deep or one of their big targets deep in this half and make Springville's defense not crowd the line so much. And for Springville, I think you keep doing what you're doing and you'll eventually break one of those runs.
You kind of look at it, we kind of wondered right there. There's a wonderful crew again out there with the selfie cam, excited right now. They're see the Colorado Avalanche up there represented from the National Hockey League.
Hockey season just started.
Right, it's a new season for them, Kind of fun the other night to watch St. Louis Blues score in the first minute. I'm not a huge hockey fan except, at the Olympics, so.
And I know enough that we have the Utah Grizzlies in the ECHL. That's about all I know.
Sounds good. Well, we'll stick to football at least for the next couple of hours, Chris. How about that?
Sounds good, and hopefully if you're a Spanish Fork fan, they can come out with a big victory tonight.
An upset here for Spanish Fork over Springville really might change some stuff in the RPI.
Yeah, if you're Spanish Fork, you're sitting in the, for all the RPI polls, you've been in the 20s, really, the lower 20s. There's only 26 teams, though, and a big win like this could possibly propel you into the top 16. You get to host a game to start it out.
When you really take a look at it, Maple Mountain was number 15 this week, so the Golden Eagles right on that verge of potentially getting a first-round home game on October 25th. The nice thing, Chris, there's no more of these play-in games that you and I got to be a part of multiple years.
Yeah, and I never understood, hey, let's take our worst two teams in the region and play them on a Tuesday and then expect them to go play Saturday after they just played Friday. 3 games in 8 days is brutal, especially when you're playing one of the top teams in the state if you make it through the gauntlet.
We're set and ready to go. Second half. The students in front of us are jumping here at Springville. They got a lot to be excited about right now. They're Red Devils up 7-0. We're set and ready to go. The ball's teed up, and we're ready to go for half number 2 from Springville High School. McKay Perry back deep, standing at about his own 2-yard line, ready to return right here for Spanish Fork. Here's the kickoff. And McKay Perry will come up and mishandle it on the return. Picks it up at around the 3-yard line. And he'll be thrown down at around the 9. A penalty flag came in. And this might be in the area of a face mask against Springville. But we'll have to wait and see. And it looks like the early indication was actually against his face mask against Springville. So luckily there, Spanish Fork will get lucky, and they'll get about 15 extra tacked on.
Unless you're Perry, you don't feel too lucky, where that was a violent tackle that time. And he, gets taken down hard.
So it'll be first down and 10 coming up right here from the 16-yard line.
Jersey Mike's sponsored the Jersey Mike's.
Ready right here. 11:53 to go here in the third quarter.
Yourself a nice sub sandwich.
Ready to go right here. Spanish Fork with the football right here. 4 wide receivers ready to go. Caden Holt, the quarterback, single back set here on 1st and 10. Corbin Harrison ready to go in motion. Here's the give to Tayson Reed. Gets outside, has a little bit of a hole, and it will have a first down out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and that's going to be a first down.
Yeah, great job by Tayson Reed as they pull the guard, they pull the tackle. It's pretty much student body to the right that time, and he's able to find a big hole, pick up about 15 yards there on first down.
So 1st and 10 right here, ball on the 41-yard line. A good pickup for Spanish Fork, and the Dons are looking to see what they can do here right off the bat. They got 4 wide receivers here on this 1st and 10 play. Here's the carry up the middle. This time it's going nowhere. Tayson Reed may have lost a yard in the backfield here, and that brings up second down.
Second down and 12, and we'll see if Spanish Fork keeps it on the ground here, if they're going to run it on this play. All right, pass it.
Second down and 11.
So it'll be second down and 11. Joshua Buck actually on the carry there. Gets a gain of about a yard. Second down and 11 here with 4 wide receivers. One goes in motion. That's Cade Olson. Keep an eye on him here in the second half. Pressure comes, taking a shot, looking for Olson down the sideline, and just kind of threw it up a little bit. That one going incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd down and long. And it looks like it's going to be a passing situation coming here on 3rd down and 11.
And that pass was just completely out of sync as Olson was not open. Thrown to the inside, Olson's going to the outside. Luckily, there's not a safety hovering there to make a play.
3rd down and 11, ball on the 40-yard line right here. Four wide receivers right here. And there's the slant route thrown to Corbin Harrison. He's got the catch to about the 50-yard line.
We'll give him the 49, and it's 4th and 2. It's decision time on whether you're going to punt there. And the way your defense has been playing, I would probably heavily consider it.
So we'll see here what's going to happen right here. You kind of wonder if you maybe go back to a slant route or something, if you might not be able to pick up the first down.
I'm probably going with that option, or Cade Holtz rolling to his right, having the option to make the play on his feet or throwing it.
4th down and 2 coming up. In motion goes Harrison. Here's the give. Caden Holt's going to keep it, dives ahead. He's going to have enough for the first down. And that will be a first down here for Spanish Fork. A nice job there, able to get outside and just kind of dives ahead for a first down.
Yeah, first down, great job by Holt. Reads the defensive end that time. The defensive end crashes down on Reed, and he goes to the outside and is able to pick it up.
First down and 10, ball on the 48-yard line right here. They're going to go here with 4 wide receivers for Spanish Fork. Don's looking to try to see if they can convert right here. Back to throw. Holt steps up, now he's going to take off and goes down around the 46-yard line or so of Springville. But a nice pickup there of a couple of yards, gets about 2 or 3.
Yeah, picks up 2 that time. Holt looked like that was going to get sacked that time. Smartly gets what he could. Plays for second down, and for Springville, they have really good coverage downfield. They must be a tough team to throw against.
Second down and 9 coming up. However, the dangers with that is if you don't have any safety over the top, help sometimes. Get behind the secondary, it's a kind of a jump ball situation.
Yeah, a lot of cover 1 with just 1 safety dropping back for Springville.
Second down and 9 right here. Back to throw with some time. They drop it off. Here's Taysom Reed trying to turn the corner and get outside, but Reed's going to just get a couple of yards to about the 46-yard line. And that's going to bring up third down and probably in the 6 or maybe 7-yard range.
3rd and 6 here. I imagine they're going to keep it on the ground with a option run again.
Opening drive here of the third quarter. 7-0 lead. Both teams have been really wanting to kind of eat up some clock when they've had the ball. Hasn't been a lot of let's throw it through the air kind of situations. Over Gabe Oldham, jump ball. Oldham goes and gets it, and it's going to be, it looks like, knocked out right there. They're going to say fumble, it looks like, by Springville, but we'll see right there how it's going to be ruled. If it's going to end up maybe potentially being ruled that he...
It's probably, well, first of all, Oldham's hurt, which is unfortunate, as they tend to him, as he high-pointed that ball. That was a great catch by Oldham. He pays the price. I think what the ruling is he caught it, fumbled it forward, and Springville recovered it based on how they've spotted the ball. But they're sorting it out as well.
So we'll see here how they end up kind of sorting this one out right here. The tough part for Spanish Fork, Gabe Oldham is kind of their big red zone tight end target. So it's going to be pass interference against Spanish Fork. That's penalties declined. Fumble recovery for Springville, and it'll be Red Devil football at their own 31 here with 7:52 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Spanish Fork, big play that time. And unfortunately, another fumble. That's the second turnover for Spanish Fork tonight.
So it's 7:52 to go here in the third quarter. 7-0 lead for Springville. Preston Parrish over right there to check on the injured Don. And Gabe Oldham will get up, and it looks like he'll walk over towards that Spanish Fork sideline right here. And there's a penalty flag that's just, it looks like, I don't know if it's just been thrown.
My guess is the Spanish Fork coaching staff doesn't agree with that fumble call and thought it should have been an incomplete pass. I think Oldham came down with the ball. He high-pointed it, made a great catch, tried to make a play, gets whacked and fumbles it forward is what I saw, but it was a bang play, so I could see it also being ruled an incomplete pass as well.
So we'll wait and see here what happens here. Typically you'd see a sideline warning, but they can call it unsportsmanlike conduct. And it's going to be a sideline warning against Spanish Fork. First down, Red Devils. So first down, Springville here. 7:52 to go here in the third quarter. And Spanish Fork had the offense on the field. Now the offense trying to sprint off the field. Defense getting quickly set here for Spanish Fork, and I think Preston Parrish just... I think the official, might have just called an official's timeout. I don't think they necessarily called timeout Spanish Fork, but just some confusion.
Yeah, they did signal, though, after the pass interference call was declined, that it was Springville's ball. And we'll see here if it is a catch and a fumble here. So I saw him come up with it high. He reaches out. He establishes a foot, makes a play on the ball, and he just got whacked in the elbow that time.
I wasn't sure if the elbow, I know he got hit in the elbow. I wasn't quite sure when the elbow came down to when the ball came out. But
he
nonetheless,
clearly fumbled it before he hit the ground. If it's not, I mean, it's either an incomplete pass or a fumble.
So it'll be 1st and 10 right now. Springville football at their own 31-yard line. 7:52 to go here in the third quarter. Ready to go straight up the middle this time. Tyler Kelly, he's going to get a yard, maybe 2 there on 1st down.
Yeah, Tayson Reed, the running back who plays both ways, is having a great night on the defense side of the ball, as he's made a lot of big tackles tonight.
He'll bring up a 2nd down and 9, ball on the 32-yard line. 2 wide receivers come on the field, single back, kind of in the I formation set here after the gain of a yard by Kelly. They'll go again right up the middle with Kelly. He breaks 1 tackle and then gets brought down around the 38. Another pickup of about 6. Makes it 3rd down and about 3 coming up.
3rd down and 3, and if you really enjoy running football, this has been your ball game, as both teams have struggled to run but have attempted to do it multiple times.
3rd down, 4 yards.
So now we'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 coming up. 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. I formation set with the 2 wide receivers. Ready to go right here. Back to throw. 3-step drop. There's the incompletion. Trying to get it out to Austin Mortensen. Just looked like a little bit of miscommunication there between quarterback and wide receiver.
Yeah, 3rd and 4, and we've seen Spanish Fork play Maple Mountain, Salem Hills, Wasatch, and Provo in consecutive weeks, and by far those teams look like they've been a step ahead of Springville. I don't know if Springville's just having an off night, but they have not impressed like those other teams. But they've beat some of those teams as well.
So it'll be 4th down and 4. Zach Mitchell into punt. He's standing back at about his own 21-yard line. And penalty flags on the field right here. And this might be a delay of game against the Red Devils. We'll see. It's going to be a procedure call against Springville. So back him up 5.
They'll change some personnel here for Spanish Fork. They have their defense in. They'll bring in the special teams punt return unit now.
I'm trying to think here if they just had them kind of on the field, wondering if there's some kind of maybe fake coming. I don't know. Mitchell into punt, puts a foot into it from the 20. McKay Perry back to return it. He'll just get away from this. It takes a nice Springville roll, still rolling inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line, and that's where Spanish Fork is going to start their next drive. They'll start inside their own 20-yard line at about the 12, maybe the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're Spanish Fork, I mean, every time you start going, it seems like they just make a mental mistake, whether it's a penalty or in that last drive a turnover. They just really have not got this offense running on any cylinders tonight.
We'll see here what the Dons are able to do right here. The tough thing is with the way that Springville run attack can be, you don't know how many possessions you'll get later on in the ballgame. Holt back to throw with some time, now trying to create something. He'll just kind of tuck it down and keep it, and Holt will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of sideline to sideline running there before Holt was brought down by Foley.
Yeah, they spread out with 4 or 5 wide receivers that time, Spanish Fork did, to try and, actually it was 4 wide receivers to try and draw the defense to spread it out, but the linebackers stayed in for the most part.
2nd down and 10 coming up from about the 12-yard line. 4 wide receivers here on the field for Spanish Fork. Back to throw with some time. Holt looking, and Holt will go down inside the 10 at about the 5-yard line. Number 92 getting there was Kevin Kolomalu on the 2 Jacks Pizza quarterback sack, and now that makes it 3rd and really long. And here, this is exactly what that Springville defense wanted, Chris.
Yeah, and now they're just going to pin their ears back and blitz here, and I don't know if I dare call a screen pass on this point in the field, because if it's an errant throw, it's an easy touchdown for Springville, or you're risking a safety in the end zone on your quarterback.
And that's the last thing you really want right here. You're already going to give up pretty good field position, unless you break something big here. And here's Tayson Reed trying to get outside. Reed will get some yards back, gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. And it will still bring up 4th down and about 10 coming up, and a punt opportunity here for Spanish Fork. So Kate Olson will punt, and then going back deep to receive right here will be two Springville Red Devils who are back at their own 50-yard line. Well, no, they're even back a little bit further, back at about their 45-yard line right here.
I know, just a terrible punt that time as it goes out of bounds early.
Olson's punt out of bounds. We mark at the 25, 26 yard.
Had a child there just kind of coming up the steps there. Started kind of walking over here, so I wanted to make sure I didn't just kind of crawling.
That's fine. He's staying warm, though. He's all bundled up with his gloves and his bear hat. But safety first here.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 coming up right here for Springville. They're in a really good field position right here for Springville to potentially make this a 2-score game. I formation, Tyler Kelly going to be the deep back right here. And Peyton Murphy's going to throw. Looking end zone's got Austin Mortensen out there. Touchdown Springville. As long as he held possession, he did. And Springville's in the end zone. It's 13-0 in favor of the Red Devils here in the 3rd.
Yeah, great job by Mortensen just running that same deep post pattern, getting open, and Springville's able to find him that time for a 26-yard touchdown pass.
A nice job there going over the top. We were kind of been waiting for that kind of big play from maybe Springville over the top. The extra point is coming up right here for the Red Devils, and the kick is up, and it looks good. It looks like it hooked in through for Caleb Snar. And it's 14-0 Springville here midway, well, just past midway through the 3rd quarter here at Springville High School. Let's take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17. Let's thank our sponsors for making this broadcast tonight possible.
Yeah, we got Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Driggs Mortgage Team, Mikhail Thompson, Hunter Attorneys at Law, 2 Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and the car guys at the Blue Diamond Auto Group for making this broadcast possible.
Next Thursday night, we're out at Provo High School for Maple Mountain and Provo. Second to last game of the regular season, and then we're off to Maple Mountain for the final week of the season, where it'll be Salem Hills and Maple Mountain.
And 2 tough matchups for Maple Mountain to end the season, as they'll need to play their A games if they're going to win those.
I tell you, they're going to need some of that offensive firepower we saw a week ago here on Spanish Fork 17. Trying to get some of those deep balls maybe out to Kyson Hall.
Yeah, Kyson Hall was very impressive. Him and Brian Bess for Maple Mountain are quite the receiving corps.
Here's Corbin Harrison, it looks like, going to run back and return this one. He's going to be brought down around the 20-yard line or so. And that's where Spanish Fork's going to start here with 3:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. And a 14-0 lead right now for Springville on top of Spanish Fork. And the Dons right now, the thing is, if you're Spanish Fork, Chris, you're only, 1, maybe 2 plays from having this game tied back up.
Yeah, you're 2 plays away, really, from having it tied up down by 14. They've been hanging tough, but they just have been unable to have a breakaway play that's changed the momentum.
Caden Holt ready to go, and he'll look to throw. Now throws it at the last minute, incomplete, in and out of the hands right there. And a penalty flag came in at the end of that one as Corbin Harrison dropped it, but then got hit after the play. And I think it was that hit that is going to bring that flag in. And we're going to see here what the penalty is going to be. It'll be personal foul against the Red Devils.
So it'll be an automatic 1st down for Spanish Fork. I just checked the Deseret News website, and Maple Mountain is beating Cottonwood 54-0 in the 4th quarter is what it says. So looks like they'll go into that game with a 5-3 record at Provo. And Provo was leading Salem Hills 16-13 near the half, so the last update they gave.
Right here. Here's the give outside. Tayson Reed on the carry. Reed will get a couple of yards. Still on his feet, actually. Breaks the tackle before going down around the 40-yard line and picks up about 5 yards total on the carry to bring up 2nd and 5. Tayson Reed's had a good game on the ground, just hasn't really seen a lot of touches.
Yeah, he hasn't, but at the same time, he's really sometimes the decoy for Holt to hang on the ball. So it's really, with the option running attack, it's either him or Holton getting the ball. So he's getting about 50% of those carries, it seems like.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd down and about 5 coming up here for Spanish Fork. Man goes in motion. That's Corbin Harrison, number 1. There's the slant route, trying to get it out there to his wide receiver. Sorry, that was Corbin Harrison, the intended wide receiver. That one goes incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and about 5.
Pretty tight coverage that time by Springville, but if that ball's just thrown a little bit more inside, and that's difficult to say because if you throw it too far inside, it's going the other way for a touchdown. Just the timing was a little bit off there, but blanket coverage for the most part by the Red Devils tonight.
And that pattern right there is just all about timing right there. 3rd down and 5. Big play coming up here for Spanish Fork. Don't think you want to give the ball back to Springville here this quick on this drive. Here's the give outside. Caden Holt trying to turn the corner, and Holt gets maybe 1.5 yards. He might get the 41 with a good spot. He's still going to be 3, maybe 4 short, and that will likely bring up a punting opportunity for number 3, and that will drop back the sophomore Cade Olson to punt.
Cade Olson's been busy tonight for Spanish Fork.
And that punt's going to go down to about the 24-yard line and then just kind of stall out right there.
Yeah, much better punt for Olson that time. And Springville will have to drive nearly the length of the field, which they've been unable to tonight.
Yeah, Springville's really, for the most part, they haven't had the greatest field position. And really that field position, Chris, you take a look at it, they've had an opportunity to try to, when they've had to start deep in their own territory, outside of the one drive that ended up in a touchdown, it's been a slow drive.
Yeah, it has for sure. As credit Spanish Fork's defense for really making a lot of big stops tonight.
I formation, Tyler Kelly. And Kelly there just straight up the middle, maybe gets 1 yard or so there on 1st down.
Yeah, and Springville still lining up in that I formation, and Spanish Fork getting a heavy dose of Kelly, and we'll see if they're able to, if they wear out here, or if they're able to hang in this and battle in this ball game to keep it close.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 9 or so after a gain of 1 by Kelly on 1st down. Peyton Murphy under center, rolling out, looking to throw towards into the flat. Has a man out there. That's complete. Breaking one tackle is going to be William Penrod. And Penrod's going to get out across the 35 to about the 37, and that's enough for a Springville 1st down.
Yeah, William Penrod here just goes underneath the tackle, the sophomore, and a lot of Penrods have come through Springville High and been football stars over the years.
Right there, not a lot there going on that first, not a lot of fanciness there, just really just pounding the ball right up the middle. So right here's the 1st down and 10 play coming up for Springville at the 38-yard line. Here's the give. Breaking a couple tackles, Tyler Kelly, he's got a 1st down around the 47-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st down into Spanish Fork territory. And a nice job there, Chris. That's just the typical Springville power football.
Yeah, and they're starting to wear down Spanish Fork, it looks like here, as that's probably the biggest run that Kelly's had all night.
Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Another just kind of fast quarter here at Springville High School tonight. I formation set. Springville leading 14-0 on Spanish Fork. Tyler Kelly again. This time has some more room. Gets it down the sideline here. Is going to have a 1st down and more. Inside the 30, thrown out of bounds at around the 22-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st down for the Red Devils right now inside the 25.
And now they're starting to get those big chunk plays. Is that you can see this offensive line and their physicality is worn out. Spanish Fork as Kelly's been unleashed here late in the third quarter.
It'll be first down and 10 right here. They're going to mark Tyler Kelly out at the 21-yard line, so just outside of our Driggs Mortgage Team red zone right here with 33 seconds to play. They stopped the clock since he got out of bounds. I formation set right here. Peyton Murphy under center gives to Tyler Kelly. Kelly's going to have a first down. This time inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. And Springville here does not even have to snap it another time. They can just let the clock kind of run down if they wanted to. My guess is they'll probably snap it one more time.
I think they'll snap it one more time just because they got the momentum going here. Why not run one more play and see if you can't get it in the end zone before the end of the quarter?
I think Peyton Murphy was content not to, and then started to come over the sidelines. And I think it was Willie Child who said, no, ran the play in with Zach Mitchell. 6 on the game clock, going to have to hurry. Murphy under center. They'll get it off with about 2. Here is Kelly right up the middle. He's going to get down to about the 5-yard line or so. So we got another gust of wind here. And now that will bring up, that will end the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. 14-0 Springville on top of Spanish Fork.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? Come to the guys you trust. The Car Guys are part of the Blue Diamond Auto Group, and they have the best selection of quality vehicles at the best prices for your budget. The Blue Diamond Auto Group with the Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. 14-0 lead right now for Springville on top of Spanish Fork here as the Red Devils are threatening here inside the 10-yard line, inside the Driggs Mortgage Team red zone right here, looking to try to see if they can get 6 more and extend their lead out. Here on senior night, the senior quarterback, Peyton Murphy, under center. Senior running back, Tyler Kelly, is the deep back. He's been the workhorse tonight for Springville. And this time, Peyton Murphy keeps it. He's going down. He's going to lose yardage out to about the 9-yard line or so. And just looks like Spanish Fork, somebody got there untouched.
Yeah, it was Tayson Reed. We've called his name a lot on the defensive side. He knows the snap count, it seems like, and he was able to sneak in there and disrupt that play before Murphy could either hand it off or drop back to pass. I don't even know if that was a run or a pass play.
It kind of ended so quickly right here. 3rd down and 9, or 3rd and goal, from the 9-yard line. Under center right here. Murphy back to throw, this time looking end zone, directing some traffic, fires it in there. It's caught. Touchdown, Springville. And it's Zach Mitchell in the end zone. And the Red Devils will go up 20-0 here in the 3rd.
I believe that was a 9-yard strike from Murphy to Mitchell that time. And Springville's got a now commanding 20-0 lead, and it's looking very difficult for Spanish Fork to come back in this one.
So right here, on for the extra point, will be Caleb Snare. Snap good, hold good, kick is blocked. Spanish Fork able to block it. The Dons will start the return process, but they'll be blown dead right there. You can't return a kick for points in high school football. And so Springville leads 20-0 here with 11-12 to go here in the fourth quarter. And if you're the Spanish Fork Dons, Chris, this is kind of where you need to try to score. And this might be a kind of a must-score drive with the way the Springville offense is running the football.
Yeah, if I'm Spanish Fork, I'm definitely going to my two-minute offense. You're going to probably have to abandon a little bit your rushing attack at times, maybe sprinkle it in, but you're going to have to take some shots downfield here, and you're going to have to do it in a hurry.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens right here with 11 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors on Spanish Fork 17. We got Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the Driggs Mortgage Team. We got the Card Guys, the Blue Diamond Auto Group, MVP Sports, 2 Jacks Pizza, and Mikkel, Thompson, and Hunter, attorneys at law. McKay Perry standing back deep at his own 5-yard line, ready to kick it away.
Hondo Quezada, number 10, lines up to kick.
And kicking it away will be number 10, Alejandro Quezada for Springville.
And we'll see if Springville is kicking it to your near side of the field. They're not kicking it from the middle, so they're obviously going to probably kick it here to the west side.
So Quezada puts a foot into it, and they just kick it on the ground over towards the sideline. Spanish Fork have to pick it up right around the 24. The ball's loose. Spencer Vest, I think number 6, though, fell right back on it. And Jace Gunter, it looks like, number 16. So it looks like it will stay here with Spanish Fork, but it will be at the 23-yard line. Just no momentum there for a return. And now we're going to see that Spanish Fork offense.
And we'll see Spanish Fork, but on that last kickoff, this game's getting a little chippy as both teams were pushing and shoving here at the end of that play.
So right now it's 1st and 10 here for Spanish Fork. At their own 22-yard line right now. 4 wide receivers, single back set. Ready to go right here. Here is Tayson Reed, not much on first down. Springville getting multiple guys right there to make the stop.
Give us to Reed, number 28.
2nd down and 10 coming up.
And if you're Spanish Fork, you got to take a chance here at some point as they're unable to get anything on the ground that time.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball on the 22-yard line right here. Right here is there's a
free sub. We got, I think one of the cheerleaders threw it, or it fell off the roof.
I think it might have fell off the roof. Ready to go right here. Corbin Harrison goes in motion. Caden Holt back to throw over middle. Fires that one in there complete to Jace Gunter, who takes a big hit, but holds on to the football. And that will be enough for a Spanish Fork first down. And Caden Holt just fired that one in there.
He fired it in there. Gunter was able to catch it, but he paid the price as Austin Mortensen just drills him.
5'11" sophomores, Jace Gunter. You have to if you're Preston Parrish, you're a young team. But the playmakers, especially at wide receiver that you bring back into next year with my guess would be Zach Dart as your quarterback, is going to give you a lot of good ways to get the ball into the right hands.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll have to see if they can develop Zach Dart to be a drop-back passer. I think he's got a lot of potential.
1st down and 10. Holt back to throw. Fires that one again in there quickly. That's complete across the 50 to the Springville 47. That's Tyler Swayze on the catch. And this is kind of the stuff we started to see from Spanish Fork, Chris, last week in the fourth quarter against Maple Mountain.
Yeah, I wonder why they stick with the run when it's close, but I wonder if maybe they try throwing it a little earlier in some of these ball games. But nonetheless, it's been just a defensive battle tonight.
1st down and 10 right now. Ball on the 47-yard line. Back to throw with some time. Caden Holt steps up and goes down. Back at his own 48-yard line. Holt brought down by Foley right there. And we've called Foley's name quite a bit tonight, and that will bring up a 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15, and one of the risks of being in a situation where there's no potential of you running is that defensive line can pin their ears back and put a lot of pressure on Holt.
It'll be 2nd and 15 right now, back at the Spanish Fork 49-yard line. Holt Looks like he's going to direct traffic here with 4 wide receivers. Here's the give to Tayson Reed. He kind of cuts it back to the inside. Reed's going to be pretty close to the first down. He's going to get about maybe 14 or so, Chris, of the needed 15 yards.
Yeah, he'll be about 1 yard short here, but really breaks 1, 2, 3, 4 arm tackles that time before he's finally brought down. Great running by Reed tonight as I think, he's making a strong push for our MVP, sports MVP player of the game tonight.
We'll have that coming up here in our post-game show, and I would imagine, Chris, you and I might keep it a little shorter tonight on the post-game show.
It is awfully cold.
3rd down and 1 coming up here. 4 wide receivers right here. Here is Holt, who's going to pull it, throws it out to Swayze at the last minute, who's got the first down and more. Swayze down inside the 30 to the 27, and that's going to be a first down coming up right here. And on the tackle was number 47, Carter Johnston.
And that's a great catch by Swayze. If he doesn't come clean with it, or if the throw's off, Holt's throwing it backwards. That's a live ball there, since it's technically a run.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Spanish Fork on the Springville 27-yard line. Don's trying to get lined up here at the last minute. 4 wide receivers back to throw with some time, getting it out quickly. There's Swayze again. He's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And again, we're seeing kind of some of those quick throws, just getting the ball out of Caden Holt's hands quickly.
Yeah, and great job. I think Swayze comes from the outside, circles back in that time, and the slot receiver runs deep to draw the defense, and Swayze's open underneath.
So right here, 2nd down and 2, ball on the 19-yard line. Ready to go here with 4 wide receivers. Holt's going to keep it. Here is, sorry, not keep it. It's going to be Tayson Reed. And Reed's going to have, he's either going to have the first down or it's going to be just enough. It's going to be, well, it's either going to be just enough for a first down or it's going to be 3rd down and short.
It's going to be about 3rd and 1 here, and this is another critical 3rd down for Springville, or excuse me, for Spanish Fork here, as they're in the Driggs Mortgage red zone themselves.
The Dons are definitely here in 2-down territory. We'll see what they draw up right here. 3rd down and 1, ball on the 18-yard line. Tayson Reed, the deep back. Caden Holt back to throw with some time, taking a shot towards the end zone and overthrew his man. Some contact between, I believe, Jace Gunter and Quezada in the coverage. Some kind of contact, Chris, but kind of going both ways.
It was both ways. Probably a good no call there, but I could have seen a pass interference as well, but you're right. A lot of hand fighting both ways that time, and the ball was overthrown. Definitely uncatchable.
So it'll be 4th down and 1. Spanish Fork going to roll the dice right here. This, for the Dons, most likely ball game right here. 6:24 to go in the 4th quarter. Here's the give. Tayson Reed up the middle, and he's going to get the spots right at the 18-yard line, Chris. And it's going to be close whether he got the first down or not.
I think he had to get to about the, was it right? Is the markers right on the 18 or 17 and a half?
It's really close. I don't know if it's on the 18 or the 17 and a half. And it looks like he didn't get it. And it will be Springville football here with 6:19 to go here in quarter number 4. Here in the Red Devils, an opportunity to try to see, Chris, here without run offense. They have a chance to really put this game away.
Yeah, they definitely could run all 6 minutes here and be able to get to wrap this up the way they run their offense. Spanish Fork has 3 timeouts to counter, though.
So it'll be 1st down and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. So we'll see what happens right here and the rest of the way. I formation right here for Springville. Here's the give to Tyler Kelly. Tries to bounce it outside. Now cuts it up inside. And Tyler Kelly gets out to about the 21-yard line. A pickup of about 3. The biggest thing, though, right here, if you're Springville, Chris, is that clock just starts to run.
It does run for sure, and they're going to take their time in the huddle there, so about every time they run a play, 40 seconds potentially could run off the clock.
So right here will be 2nd down and 7, ball on the 21-yard line. And Springville has taken the time to huddle all ball game, but here it kind of seems like they're letting that play clock just kind of run down right here. With the new 40-second play clock, you can take just about 2 minutes. Penalty flags fly here. It looks like Spanish Fork immediately indicating against Springville, like someone, and it is a false start against the Red Devils.
Yeah, the official's very quick to make the false start penalty. It wasn't on your screen there, but nonetheless, it's a 5-yard penalty moving him back.
And so here you get ready to kind of go right here. And now the thing is that clock still runs. The change going from a 25-second play clock, Chris, to a kind of more of a 40-second play clock just kind of changes the way you make a call.
Well, it makes it more consistent because it was 25 seconds after the ball was spotted. Some officials were slow, some were fast.
Peyton Murphy taking a shot, looking for Austin Mortensen, and a penalty flag comes in as it was number 17, Jeffrey Hernandez, who just kind of made a play on the receiver right there, I think to prevent the catch from being made.
And maybe, I don't know, assuming Mortensen makes another big catch, that's a heads-up play by Hernandez, as it's only a 15-yard penalty.
So it will give Springville a fresh set of downs. But they're moving the ball. Oh, now they'll mark it off. Okay. And it was pass interference against Spanish Fork. I thought maybe at first there was a penalty kind of offsetting, but here they'll move the ball out to the 31-yard line. First down right here for Springville. And now the Red Devils can kind of just use that clock as best as they can. Ready to go, I formation, Tyler Kelly the back. Kelly tries to bounce it outside, cuts it up inside. Tyler Kelly's going to have pretty close to another first down. He's going to get marked, and he's going to get the first down right here as Springville will move the chains here on first down.
Yeah, great job blocking by the fullback that time as Kelly's able to bounce it and get 10 yards as he bounced off a couple of downs that time.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Devils at their own 41-yard line. I formation set right here. Ready to go. Peyton Murphy still letting a few seconds go here on that play clock. I think he's looking to the official there in the back that signals the 5 seconds. Here's the give up the middle. Tyler Kelly gets a couple of yards, this time to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah. In other Region 8 play, I'm seeing that Salem Hills had a lead on Provo in the third quarter, 20-16. So it looks like Salem Hills has battled back for a lead there. We're not, obviously it's not live.
Is that game in Provo or is it in Salem?
I believe it's in Salem. Teams have been alternating back and forth between home and away. Salem was here at Springville last week where they dominated the Red Devils 35-7.
2nd down and 8 coming here from the Springville 43-yard line. Murphy under center, ready to go now as the play clock's under 5. Getting outside, that is going to be number 28, Tegan Harris on the carry. Harris going to be pretty close to the marker. I think he's going to be about a half-yard short, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and short coming up.
Yeah, and big pitch to the outside that time. Tegan Harris gets near another first down, and maybe it's a blessing if you're a Red Devil fan that it's only 3rd and 1. That way you can run some more clock here, pick up the first down, and have a whole new set of downs.
It'll be 3rd down and 1 right here from the 50. Game clock goes under 3 minutes. Really another first down here by Springville, and Preston Parrish will be kind of forced to start thinking timeouts right here. Here's the give up the middle. That will be enough for a Springville first down to the 45. And
Aaron Jensen brought him down that time, but not before Harris that time picks up the first down.
And I think we're getting into the point here, Chris, where we're going to have a pretty good idea how Preston Parrish is going to play this. If Preston Parrish is going to use those timeouts, because you would think right after this first down play, as long as Springville's not going to get another first down, that he would use his first timeout.
Yeah, I would assume that as well.
Murphy under center here, I formation set. Here's the pitch outside, trying to turn the corner. Getting a big block. Tyler Kelly's got the first down, lowers his head around the 24-yard line.
He's tackled by number 32.
Right there, and that's a first down for Springville with 1:58 to go here in this one.
Yeah.
And really, Springville can start, if Preston Parrish isn't going to start using those timeouts, Chris, Springville can really start thinking about the victory formation.
Yeah, they can, and what a great run by Tyler Kelly, but there were some monstrous blocks on that play that freed that up along the edge.
You have to kind of wonder if how tired that Spanish Fork defense is. That run game from Springville tonight has just been run play after run play after run play.
Absolutely, yeah, they've got to be gassed.
Peyton Murphy right here under center here with probably about 2 on the play clock. Gives it up the middle to Tyler Kelly again. And Kelly will get inside the 20 to about the 20-yard line. We'll see here if we're going to see that timeout being used. I don't see an indication yet that Preston Parrish is going to use those timeouts. He's on the field, but far away from the official. He has the headset off. I don't think Spanish Fork's going to try to use the timeout.
Yeah, he's just calling in defensive signals, and I wonder if Springville's just going to take a knee here.
53 seconds, and Springville looks like they are going to get another Region 8 victory here against Spanish Fork. Murphy, I formation set, play clock under 5. Here's the give, up the middle, first down Tyler Kelly, inside the 10, down to the 5. That'll be a first down. They'll stop the clock with 32 seconds. And really, Springville can probably just take the victory formation. I don't know how Willie Child will handle this. There's an injured player on the field, however.
Well, they will have to run another play because they'll reset it with 25 seconds to go here. Yeah, but it's, Springville's number 3 in the RPI. Will this loss drop them like it did Maple Mountain down a little bit? That I'm curious to see, and doesn't take them long to update the RPI. I noticed last week, because it says it updates every hour once the first standings are released, and they definitely stuck to that. And unfortunately, we got an injury here, and it's to Harris, and that's not something you want to see at the end of a ball game. So to your point, maybe they should have jumped in the victory formation a little earlier to avoid one of these injuries.
So we'll see if Willie Child here just does get into that victory formation right here. They'll start to run the clock here. And I think Springville's looking over the sideline. I think they're trying to see what they're going to do, and it does look like for Springville it will be the victory formation here with 18 seconds on the clock. And now the tough part for the Red Devils, it will be a little bit of some sit and wait to figure out what everything else plays out as they take a knee. And Springville is going to get this one by a final of 20-0 here on Spanish Fork 17. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap this up. We'll have our MVP Sports MVP of the game as well. You're watching high school football on Spanish Fork 17.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if you do, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Call McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, 801-798-9000.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, I'm Greg with the Driggs Mortgage team, where we believe there's no substitute for experience. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
They look like keys
back here at Springville High School. A 20-0 final in favor of the Springville Red Devils. We're back here with the postgame show, and Chris, we kind of wondered how Spanish Fork was going to create some offense. They had some success with being able to move the ball, but the tough part for them, they were not able to get in the end zone.
Yeah, they had a couple of fumbles in this game and really didn't sustain a very long drive. Credit the Springville Red Devils defense as they pretty much just manhandled the Dons tonight.
It's a good game all around for the Springville Red Devils, but you talk about a couple of times, both teams kind of played this at times, kind of a bend but not break style, where they had opportunities to try to come away, the opponent had a chance to come away with points, but they made the stop at the right time.
Yeah, they did, and the difference was a couple of passes by Murphy in this game, timely touchdown passes, and then they had the Kelly run, so that's really the offense that the Red Devils had tonight.
It'll be interesting to kind of see right here what happens here. You see kind of the Springville students and fans starting to make their way out of the stands and onto the field to celebrate this victory tonight here at home on senior night for those seniors. When you take a look, though, Chris, at Spanish Fork, you talk about when you get to this kind of the season, you want to start playing your best football, but you want to start really trying to make sure that you're kind of going in a positive direction, whether that's into the postseason or into next year, whatever your kind of thoughts are. This year, everybody makes the first round of the playoffs, but you want to be able to make sure you're playing your best football of the year. Do you feel like Spanish Fork tonight, this might be their best game we've seen in the last few weeks?
In the last few weeks, for sure. I know they didn't score any points, but it seemed like the defense played a lot better tonight, and they, really, maybe it's the offense they're playing. Springville's not going to be the flashy offense. They're going to line up in the I formation, try and wear you out, and then they're going to play absolutely lights-out defense, and that's how Springville gets victories. So maybe it was a matchup, but they definitely looked better tonight. That we can see that where we didn't have to explain the 35-point mercy rule tonight as well.
It'll be interesting to see our MVP of the game tonight goes to a defensive player for Spanish Fork. We don't get a chance to talk a lot about defensive players a lot, but one thing tonight, Dallin Pepper all over the field tonight, making some key tackles, and he's been in on a lot of tackles in other weeks, but tonight really did a great job up front.
Yeah, and one of the big issues Spanish Fork had was giving up big running plays. We saw that against Provo, Salem Hills, and tonight I thought Springville's I formation would open up some big holes, but credit Dallin Pepper, Tayson Reed, some of those guys for really doing a great job of limiting those runs, and Pepper had a ton of tackles. He's going to be sore tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to kind of see. We got another fun one next Thursday night. And we do want to remind you, it is going to be Thursday night. Maple Mountain against Provo. That one from the big Provo, from the new Provo High School out there. It'll be interesting to kind of see, Chris. This is a game a lot of people are going to look at on paper and say Provo. But give me a case of why Maple Mountain might go in there and surprise some people and potentially pull an upset.
Well, I think it's Bess, and I think it's Hall. They're two wide receivers. Those guys are two threats. Sometimes you have one receiver, and if you take them away, it's fine. But they also have Saeli, and so with that combination, I think they could throw some deep balls on Provo, but their defense is going to have to keep them in the game. I think it'll be a little higher scoring game than this week.
We'll see what happens next Thursday night, 7 p.m. kick from Provo. We'll get ready to say so long tonight from Springville, where the Red Devils beat the Spanish Fork Dons by a final score of 20-0. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday night for more high school football on Spanish Fork 17.